Hi everyone, welcome to another week of Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie. Thanks for joining me for another week of live step-by-step paper crafting. I'm here to be your creative coach today to show you how to create 2 Valentine's Day projects using the new Valentine Keepsakes stamp set. Now let me just make sure that my comments here on Facebook are following along. It's great to see everybody. If you're watching and joining me live here, make sure to comment, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're joining me via replay on YouTube or here on Facebook as well, make sure to type in replay so I know that you were able to join me this week. As always, you can like, share, and comment this video to be entered into this week's prize patrol. I will let you know what that is here in just a few minutes. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. Yesterday we had my winter virtual Stampin' Bingo. I had a lot of fun. We had 16 people join me and a special guest joined also from Stampin' Up Corporate, so it was fun to have them join along and see how a virtual winter bingo went. It was really fun to hand out some fun prizes to everybody, see everybody's faces, and I look forward to my next bingo at the end of April. So spring Stampin' Bingo will be coming the last weekend in April. Right now I'm still, fingers crossed, planning on in-person event. As always, we have to see how COVID numbers are going, but as of right now, there will be an in-person and a virtual event planned, and I hope you all can join me. We had a blast, and you really missed out if you weren't able to register this time, but we will definitely see you in April for Spring Stampin' Bingo. All right, so today we have 2 projects featuring the Valentine's Day Keep Set stamp set. Now this stamp set right here is from the January through June mini catalog, and it is perfect for creating some quick and simple projects for Valentine's Day. Now today kicks off my 2-week Valentine's Day class series, where this week and next week I will showcase Valentine's Day projects for you to create for those special people in your life that you love. Today I'm featuring that stamp set from the January through June mini catalog, and next week I'll feature a stamp set from our annual catalog to showcase some products that we can't forget about in our amazing catalog there. All right, let's go ahead and swap the camera. I always hit the wrong button. There we go. So today I am showcasing these 2 projects here. They both feature the Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper. This specialty paper comes in 3 different colors. So we have Rococo Rose, Sahara Sand, and Blushing Bride. Now, these papers are beautiful not just for Valentine's Day projects, but also for creating, Mother's Day is coming up, so you can create some really beautiful Mother's Day gifts with these. But then also, like this Blushing Bride and the Sahara Sand would be great for baby gifts and baby cards. So you can create some beautiful projects with these. It's not just for Valentine's Day, so I want to show you how you can create projects using this paper in more than just one way. Now, Prize Patrol. I spoke about Prize Patrol earlier, and if you're new to watching my videos, well, welcome. I go live every Monday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time or Pacific, whatever Arizona is at the current time. And if you share my video, you get entered in to win this week's Prize Patrol. So Prize Patrol last week was the Frost White Shimmer Paint, and I showed you last week on Technique Tuesday how to combine this paint with our new Stampin' Blending brushes to create a really fun pearl look on your projects. Our winner from last week is Candy Hansen, so thank you, Candy, for sharing my video, and I will be sending you a full bottle of the Frost White Shimmer Paint. Now, this week's Prize Patrol is a package of the Love You Always 12x12 Specialty Designer Series paper. So make sure to share this video and comment that you shared, because sometimes Facebook is finicky and doesn't let me know when everybody has shared. So I hope you all enter into this week's Prize Patrol to win this week's paper. All right, so like I said, we are gonna focus on the Valentine's Keepsakes stamp set. Now, this stamp set is kind of overshadowed in our January through June catalog by some of our other amazing Valentine's Day projects we have out there. It's found on page 16, and it was actually the stamp set that I featured for my January class. So this class here, let's see, I hope this is still going. I'm recording if it's not. Let's see, let me hit refresh to see if it's going. I'm not sure exactly why it's not live, but like I said, this is all recorded, so if it's not live, just let me know if you're able to still watch. I'm not seeing this come up on my end, but I'll continue on, and it's all recorded, like I said. So we've got our Valentine's Keepsake stamp set here and our sweet little Valentine's Day cards. So if you are watching, we've got the stamp set, and we will keep going. All right, so for our first project here, I am featuring basic black cardstock. Now this is a 4 1/4 by 11. It's a 8 1/2 sheet by 11 that I cut down the middle, and I have scored to be able to add that to our project. Now, all the dimensions I have on this free PDF each week that I supply to you. Now, this is found on the link in the description of this video, and all you have to do is click that and it'll take you to this. It's a free PDF I allow to all my subscribers each week. So this is has all of the item names, the item numbers, and the prices of all the products I'm using today, and then as well as the dimensions. So if you want to, you can follow along with these projects as we go. Now, don't forget with Celebration, if your wish list is long and all those items that you love, don't forget about our signing up special for Celebration. So during Celebration, you can join for $99. You get to choose $125 of all your favorite products, and you get 5 free packages of designer series paper. Now, this paper is new from our upcoming annual catalog, and it is beautiful, and I am so happy to be able to get my hands on this prior to the release. Now, this is only available to new people who join Stampin' Up! During Celebration, and this is only until the end of this month. So time is running out to join the Stampin' Blondie team to get these 5 packages of paper for free. And that's on top of your $125 worth of product for $99. So 200 sheets of designer series paper. That is an amazing deal. You cannot miss out on that. All right, so we are gonna start on our projects here. We have a piece of basic black cardstock, and I also have here a piece of basic white cardstock. I'm using the Hippo and Friends die cuts today. I've got a piece of silver foil paper, and then also a shimmery white cardstock is what I'm using today. Petal pink ink and some Rococo rose ribbon. Now for this, I've got our 3 pieces of the specialty designer series paper. We have Blushing Bride, Rococo Rose, and Sahara Sand. And what we're gonna do first is we are going to adhere those down to our card base. Let me grab my adhesive here. So I'm going to line everything up first before I glue it down. You want to do this to make sure that it is all lined up prior to adhering it. If you were to just glue everything down first, it may not line up how you want it. So we are going to use our Stampin' Seal adhesive for that, and we're gonna put that right here onto our card, and then just move down the line. We're doing this to be able to make sure everything is lined up perfectly how you want it, and then we will go from there. So line up here, and our last piece, we're going to line this up for that. And there we go. I chose to use the shimmer white cardstock because I wanted to get that shine of the paper more than just regular cardstock. I wanted it to have shimmer to go with our foil paper. And we're gonna place that down onto our project here as well. Now I chose to do a sideways easel card. So normally where a card goes and stands like this, but this time it's gonna be sideways and it's gonna open like a book. So we've got our Rococo Rose going towards the right-hand side. And we're just gonna put that down there. And we're gonna work on our stamping here. Now I'm gonna cover my workspace because we're gonna do some off stamping. And we're using the Petal Pink ink and also Blushing Bride, Rococo Rose. Let me grab that. Forgot to take that out. There we go. And what I've done is I'm using these hearts here as my background piece. And we're just going to stamp that onto our project. Okay, and stamp there. And these all line up here so that we've got our background. And then we're gonna stamp on top of that our Sweets for the Sweet sentiment for our card here. So we're just gonna stamp that right in the middle of our die cut piece. Now, if you wanted to, you could do the stamp off method where you stamp your Petal Pink off onto a piece of paper first to be able to get the lighter ink look to that. But Petal Pink is very light by itself, so we don't need to stamp off if we don't want to. All right, I'm gonna close up my Rococo Rose here, if I can get it. It's a tight ink pad. I don't use Rococo Rose too much, so it's very tight when I work with it. All right, we've got here our, let me get this in the picture so you guys can see our project. We're just gonna use Stampin' Seal on the back of our paper here. Make sure that's all lined up. And then we're gonna put dimensionals on the back of this. Now, I like to use dimensionals because it pops up our projects and it elevates them just to make our project stand up just a little bit more, gives it some more oomph to it. This project is great for beginner stampers. You don't need a lot of technique to be able to create this. It's really just cutting pieces of paper and lining everything up. All right, and then our final piece here, I have the scalloped linen ribbon in Rococo Rose. This is from the annual catalog. And I'm gonna take 9 inches of this ribbon and I'm gonna tie a bow. Now this ribbon is a little more tough to tie. The linen on the inside is pliable, but the scallop part is a little bit thicker. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna tie these two ends together, but we're gonna have to twist the bow just a little bit on one of the tails to be able to make sure that both of the colors are showing on the outside. So the twist is right here on one of those ends. Unfortunately, because the image and the color is not on both sides of the ribbon, it definitely has to be twisted to be able to show the Rococo Rose on one side. All right, and then as a final touch, I'm just using my Tombow liquid glue to glue my ribbon down to my project here, and I'm gonna use a clear block to hold that on and make sure that is glued together. All right, so this is our first project here using the Love You Always Specialty Designer Series paper. I hope you all enjoyed this first project. This was the Hippo and Friends dies. There are so many dies that you get in the stamp set. or this die set. This is from the annual catalog as well, and it coordinates with the Hippo and Friends stamp set, but it's definitely some dies that are great to have their own because you have some stitching here, some great labels dies, more stitching. This little wavy guy is fun too. So don't forget, dies can be great on their own as well, not just paired with stamp sets. All right, so this is our first project using the Valentine's Keepsakes stamp set and the Love You Always specialty 12x12 designer series paper. I hope that shine comes through for you guys. It's really pretty, and it's such an easy card to create. All right, so moving on, we have our second project. Let me gather the things for that here. Now, where did I put my card for that? It is right here. All right, so this project here is featuring the detailed hearts dies. Now, this is a die set from the annual catalog. It's tucked away all in the back, and it's very easy to overlook. This die is one giant heart set, and it cuts all these little die cut hearts. It's really pretty, but it can be a little tricky to cut all these out. I'm gonna show you a tip and trick on how to create these this project here that it cuts out these really thin hearts. So what we're gonna do is, let me grab all my supplies here first. So I have, these are adhesive sheets from our annual catalog. They're double-sided stick, and I'm gonna show you how to use them, and they're so easy. I've got a piece of the Blushing Bride foil paper, the specialty foil paper, and I've cut it to be about the size of my dies. And I'm just gonna cut this down a little bit smaller here. There we go. And what you want to do is you're going to take your designer series paper and you're going to cut off a piece of the adhesive sheet first. So we're just going to trim off a piece of this adhesive sheet. You want to trim this because you're not going to peel off the entire sheet. You only want to peel off what you're going to use for your project. If you were to peel this whole thing off, this would be sticky, and trying to get that through your die cut machine would be very bad to get that sticky in there. So it says peel here. You're just going to peel off the top layer. That's garbage, so you're going to throw that away. And now you're going to take your designer series paper. This is sticky, so we're going to put our designer series paper right on top of our adhesive sheet, and we're going to trim off all the excess adhesive sheet that's shown. If you were to run that through, again, your die cut machine, it's going to get sticky on the inside. So you're just going to cut off all the outside here of your sheet. So I'm just going to cut all that, all this, and there we go. All right, that's garbage. So we've got our die and our adhesive sheet. So there's adhesive on the back of our paper here. Now you just need one more thing when using this die sheet. Now I like to use a piece of wax paper in between these more intricate dies. The wax paper helps the paper from sticking in here and ripping your paper up. You've got really tiny, intricate dies that could easily rip if you are going to put that through your die cut machine. For this one, I need my big Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Unfortunately, this die won't fit into the mini machine, so we're just going to put that on there. We're gonna layer our platform, our level 2, our clear plate. It tells you all how to do this on the machine. Our piece of adhesive back paper, our piece of wax paper, and then our die right on the top there. We're going to put this right on top, our last plate, and we're gonna run that through the machine here. And I'm going slow, try not to shake the camera too much. But I'm gonna do one more pass onto our die just to make sure that it is all cut. Okay, there we go. And we can move our machine out of the way. All right, there we go. We've got our dies, and then we've got our die. See how easy that comes apart from the paper? The only little pieces you may have left here are some hearts that are out of wax paper. We have a little roller brush in the annual catalog, and you can just peel the wax paper out of your die and it'll come right out. All right, so we're gonna pop that right out, peel some of the wax paper. There we go. So our die is good to go. Now this leftover piece, let me get our plates out of the way here. This leftover piece is gonna be your die, so peel your wax paper off, and then you need to gently peel out your hearts. Now it's not one big connected heart. Some of them stick out farther than the other. So you want to really gently pull your hearts out of the paper. If you pull too hard, you can rip the hearts since they're very thin. So we're just going to gently pull this out. And we're gonna take it, it's gonna come off the adhesive backing at the same time. So you've got two different pieces here that you're just pulling off of your die sheet. There we go. It does get a little messy. This part can be a little messy, but here is your die cut hearts. And the best part is this already has adhesive on the back of it. So I'm gonna put that over there and I'm gonna clean all of this up because we're gonna do some stamping and blending here. I'm gonna clean up my, now these hearts could make a really fun shaker card. So if you wanted to, you could save these little hearts, create a fun shaker card, but I'm not, because I'm not going to create a shaker card right now. So my card base, I've got a piece of petal pink cardstock. I've cut this at 5.5 by 8.5. Scored it right down the middle. Let me just get a sip of water. All right, from here, we are taking a piece of basic white cardstock. We're gonna use Rococo Rose ink, and I've got a blending brush. These are new to this January through June mini catalog. And I wanted that Rococo Rose to just stand out from our card base. So I'm swirling my blending brush into my paper. I'm starting off my paper first and just blending onto my background. Now with these brushes, you can build your color. You can get as dark or as light as you want. I just want a little bit of that dusty rose look in the background behind my hearts to be able to have a peekaboo of color on there. All right, so we've got I got some adhesive onto my card base. That's okay, rubs right off. So close up our ink, and now we're gonna adhere our hearts to our card. So because, like I said, this already has adhesive to the back of it, I can just place this right on to my basic white cardstock piece, and you just push the hearts down and they will stick to your paper. You want to make sure that they all line up, and it's not a very super strong adhesive. It's not going to be like you can't remove it, but it's tacky and it'll stick onto your card. Now you can trim off your hearts depending on how you laid that onto your card, but I'm just gonna lay my card on there just like this. I'm putting my card base at an angle onto my project. So I've got my piece of paper here, and I'm just going to tilt that a little bit onto my card. Now for our sentiment, I am using the Heart Combo Punch Pack. Now this is from the January through June mini catalog. No, sorry, these are in the annual catalog, and they come together in a set. So you have a scalloped heart and a regular heart. They layer on top of each other. And so we're gonna do that right here for our sentiment. I'm using Rococo Rose for the scalloped part, and I'm just using regular shimmer white cardstock for the regular heart here. Now for the stamping portion, I'm again going to use Rococo Rose for my part, and then also the petal pink for part of my card as well. We're gonna do the sentiment and this little heart piece here. Looks like growing flower or growing hearts. So we're gonna stamp the growing hearts first in petal pink ink. We're going to use that in the background. So not a super dark stamp to that because I want my sentiment to shine through. So we've got our hearts there. And then the background or the sentiment piece, you have my heart, is gonna be in Rococo Rose. So I just need a small block for that. And you have my heart is gonna go right in the middle of my punched out heart. So we've got 2 layers here, and that petal pink and Rococo Rose really help them stand out from each other. A little bit of the Stampin' Seal onto the back of our hearts, and we're maybe calling me or something. Hopefully not anymore. All right, so for the back of our card, we are going to, or for our heart, we're gonna layer this petal pink sheer ribbon. Now this is from the annual catalog as well, and we're gonna use about 10 inches of this ribbon. What we're gonna do is we are going to kind of zigzag our ribbon for our project here. And what I'm gonna do is just use a little bit of Stampin' Seal and how I want my ribbon to go. So just a zigzag Z on the back. We're gonna do 1 layer and we're gonna twist our ribbon. Another layer here. And we may just need 1 more little bout of that to go right there onto our card. So we have that zigzag in the background, and then we're just gonna take our scissors to trim off some excess here. There we go. For that, on the back, we're gonna use some dimensionals. If I can find mine, I've got a package right here. So just some dimensionals on the back of the heart. That'll help hold down not only our ribbon, but also our heart to our project. Don't forget, these are extra dimensionals on the back of your paper on the outside. Once you use the normal dimensionals in the middle, don't forget you have a whole package of dimensionals still on the outside, so don't throw away that foam. We're gonna bring in our project here, and there we go. That is our final project using the Valentine's Day Keep Set, stamp set, and the detailed heart dies with the Love You Always specialty 12x12 designer series paper. All right, I hope you all enjoyed Makers Monday today. I look forward to seeing you next week where I continue to create Valentine's Day projects for you using a stamp set from our annual catalog. If you loved any of the products that I showcased here today, make sure to click on the link above in the video description to place an order with me. My host code for this month was in our video, so if you have any questions about placing an order, I am more than willing to help you do that. I look forward to seeing you next week for another week of Makers Monday. Bye!